Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's David again. Just wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the country, how right is wrong and wrong is right. I was listening to, started off, I was sitting eating breakfast this morning at a restaurant. Sitting there listening and kind of overhearing people's conversations. And this young couple sitting there, they live in a hotel. They were discussing, both of them had jobs, not well-paying jobs, but they both had jobs. Talking about how they wish that they could afford rent, how they wish they could afford a home. So I started looking around just the area that I was in. South Carolina is where I am at the moment, soon to be in Kentucky. But here nor there, I was listening to this couple, and I pulled up Google and Googled a couple apartment complexes near the area I'm in. And 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just, regular apartment. And it's not even really in a good neighborhood. It was $1,700 a month. If you take two people working, just say at $10 an hour for 40 hours a week, and you got a $1,700 bill, and on average my electric bill runs right around $300 a month, which, I run the air conditioning, and I'm lucky enough I can afford it and do it. But the way the government's got all this set up is, people are going homeless every single day. People can't afford to rent. People can't afford to buy a home anymore. The American dream, what everybody should be able to do. But it's not possible anymore. People are working their butts off. They're not able to raise their children. They're selling their time, basically, for scraps, is what I would call it. I have a young daughter, and I'm lucky enough I can be with her most of the time, 90% of the time. She lives with me, and, I'm very, very lucky for that, to have that opportunity to watch her grow up. Then you take a couple that has a child, and mom and dad are both working. They go to the school system, and the school system, as we all know, are not teaching our children correctly. We've got transgender, and before I'm flagged or whatever, I have no problem what people do in their life. I'm a Christian. I have my beliefs, and my beliefs are my beliefs. I believe in God. I believe I will have to answer for my sins I've committed, just like everyone else will. Whether you believe in God or not, that's up to you. I believe in God, and I will have to answer for my sins as everyone else will. But what we're teaching our children in school is to hide things from their parents. I watch a lot of news, and it's not Fox, just Fox or just CNN or you name it. I listen to Al Jazeera. I listen to all news outlets that I can get my hands on, because none of them really want to tell the complete truth about what's going on. We've got a border problem. We've got people crossing the border every single day. Every day. Thousands. Every day. And we give to these people our money, our tax money that we work for so hard. Whenever we earn that money, we're taxed. When we spend that money, we're taxed. If we die, we're taxed. Where does this end? You've got, and I'm going to name off people, you've got Nancy Pelosi, you've got Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, all of these people, and I'm not just, those three just off the top of my head, but they're making $100,000 better a year off of our tax money that they just freely give away to someone that has broke the law. Now, if you or I break the law, there's consequences. We go to jail, we pay fines, there's consequences. The illegal aliens across our border from all nations, not just Mexico, all nations, they're breaking our law without any consequences. None. And then our government gives them housing, gives them food, gives them money. But you take the single mom or the single father that needs help, and what do we get? Nothing. You know, I really don't speak out too much. And what really started bothering me a lot is all the homeless people I'm starting to see on the streets. I look at Maui, devastated. And all my prayers go to everyone there. All my prayers. Devastation. I understand what's going on in Ukraine, and they need help. But our American citizens need to come first. Our American citizens are the ones that foot the bill for the executive branch, judicial, Congress. Where's our money at? What's it being spent on? It's not us. It's not to help us. I go to the grocery store, buy a few items, and I like to eat healthy. I do. I like salad. I like to eat pretty decent. Can't afford it. It's so high. Fuel prices, so terribly high. And I'm not saying Trump was the answer. I'm not saying Biden's answer. But I had more money in my pocket when Trump was in office at paying $2 a gallon than paying $3.50 a gallon, which I just filled my car up a few minutes ago. When we could be energy independent. You know, we have electric vehicles and they have charging stations. I've tried to reach out to several of the automakers for EVs. I have a concept that basically would self-sustain the car. It would power itself. You could drive from the East Coast to the West Coast without ever having to hit a charging station, ever. Nobody wants to hear that. They want to complain. But that's not what I'm here for. We give all this money to these countries. And what do we do for our citizens? People that love America, that were born here. We're teaching them socialism in college. We're teaching them communism. That's the way. It's not the way. These young kids that think they know it all coming straight out of college, so brilliant and bright, they're brainwashed. All we have done is let the school system and our government turn our children into sheep. I'm almost 50 years old. I grew up in a different generation, and I know everybody hears it, and all this, but we're the ones that allowed this to happen. Not the children growing up now. You and I are the ones that allowed this to happen. And we're the ones that need to correct it. The schools, whenever I register my child for school, do you want dental? Do you want health? No. That's not what my child's at school for. She's there to learn. She's not there for a dental checkup. She's not there for a health checkup. I have her doctors. I have her dentists. I don't need help from the school. Christianity. We take that out of the schools, but it's all right for other faiths to be there, but not Christianity. Why is it so hard for the citizens of the United States? And yeah, you can call me whatever, a rebellious, whatever you want to call me. I don't care what I'm labeled as. But the truth is the truth. Our nation is hurting. We are hurting as a people. And this is going to be real touchy what I'm going to say next. The government, if everyone really thinks about it, is trying to separate the black and the white. Why? And I'll answer it. As long as the people cannot get together, the government has control. In 1776, there wasn't any division. We knew what we had to do. We were being taxed out of control. The British, our founding father, our first president, George Washington, he would have been tried as a traitor. And he would have been hung or killed as soon as he was found for what he did. Declaration of Independence, every single person that signed their name to that, they were traitors. You know, if they're traitors, I wouldn't mind being a traitor right along with our founding fathers. I'm not saying everything they did was correct. Slavery was awful. That was a different time. That was a different place. We as a people, not black, not white, not brown, we as a people, citizens of the United States, we need to realize we control the United States. Not the president, not the Congress. We, the people. We, the people. And I know I'm a little all over the page. First time I'm really getting into whatever you call this, YouTubing, whatever. And I'll get better, hopefully, at it because I want to speak my mind a lot more on a lot more subjects. Our military. Look what our government's doing to our military. If we were attacked today, do you think we really could fend off China and Russia? And don't just think of those two. You've got North Korea, you've got Iran, Syria. All these people hate us. They hate what we stand for. They hate our freedom. Our freedom. The freedom to be gay. The freedom to be straight. The freedom to criticize the United States. We have those freedoms. We get to speak out. We're lucky. We're the luckiest country in the world. These people that want to yell and scream and holler and talk about how bad this country's treated them, I would encourage you. Go spend a week in Russia. Go spend a week in Syria. Go spend a week in Iraq, Iran. Pick a country. Hell, go to Mexico and spend a week. We're lucky. We have a great country as of now. But if we keep allowing these politicians to do what they're doing and allowing China to buy land Yeah, our farmland on our homeland being purchased by the Chinese shell corporations. And anybody can fact check me all they want. Fact check it yourself. It's happening. Why are we allowing this as a people? America, we need to wake up. And we need to wake up real quick. This is done by design. This isn't done by accident. When you control the news outlets, and a lot of people know who I'm talking about, who's controlling the news outlets, who foots the bill to them. They're not the ones that control the country. We need to start thinking for ourselves again. Stop letting people think for you. The other day at school, my little boy kept touching her inappropriately. Kept touching her. She warned him twice. Warned him the third time. And then she scratched him. She got in the car. Told me exactly what happened. I swung immediately around. I approached the principal and the resource officer. Asked her why she got in trouble for scratching the little boy when she was the one being touched inappropriately. Yeah. I informed both of them that I instructed her to protect herself at all costs. The resource officer said, I cannot hear this because if she does anything, you will be charged. I told the officer, I'll take that charge. I will be proud of that charge. My daughter's not a sheep. And your children shouldn't be sheep either. Our children are not our friends. And that's how we're raising them nowadays. As friends. They're not our friends, they're our children. We discipline our children. We need yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Back. Opening doors. Looking out for our elderly. But no, we don't do that anymore. The government controls everything. Everything. And you can agree or disagree with me, and I know I'm kind of all over the page right now. And I will be, and I'll start getting better, and I'll start having more direction, but I kind of want everyone to know where I'm coming from and feeling. But I want everyone to know, we the people. That means something. Look it up. Congress does not control us. We pay them. Everybody talks about defunding the police. That is the most idiotic, stupid thing I could ever think of in my entire life. When you go to McDonald's, when you go to Burger King, anywhere, you'll have a bad employee every once in a while. Same with police. But for the 99% that are good and do their job, and we want to defund them, hey, we can go back to old outlaw justice like the cowboys did. I don't think people want that. But our officers do not deserve what they're receiving right now. At all. And trust me, I've had my run-in with law enforcement, and I've run into bad ones, and I've run into good ones. And like I said, 99% are good. Just like at Burger King or McDonald's, it's like any job. You're going to have 1% that are not good, that are bad, that are power hungry. And shame on them. But we need our officers, and we need to recognize them and appreciate what the job they do. They don't know what they're walking into. Every car that they stop, Every house that they go to they've been called to, whether it's domestic violence, an emergency, a break-in, they have no clue what they are walking into. Give them a break. Now, I'm not saying give up your rights, because we all have rights, and the police need to follow that, because they take an oath to the Constitution. Just like everyone in Congress and our president, mayors, take an oath to our Constitution, to abide by our Constitution. If we let that fail, we have lost everything, people. There will no longer be we the people. Love me, hate me, whatever you want. But people, we need to get off our rear ends and take back our country. Fire these people that are in office. You know, and I'm Republican, I'll be straight up. Half of the Republicans that are in office need to be fired. Half of the Democrats in office need to be fired. And we're the people that need to do it. See, a lot of people forgot back in the day, politicians, now they're protected and they've got security and all this, and if you threaten or whatever, you go to jail. Back in the day when a politician was not doing his job, and you can research this, they were rode out on a rail, tarred and feathered. Being rode on a rail, look it up. It's pretty interesting. Tarred and feathered speaks for itself. But that's what we did to politicians that were not doing their job and were not obeying the Constitution. And we have several of those now that are in office. I'm a gun advocate. And gun safety is very important. But trying to take guns away from people like myself and people that actually go through the process of being checked out by the DOJ, which is so corrupt right now that makes me sick. And these are the people that are checking us out. But here nor there, we go through the channels, we obtain the permits, and we legally own guns. That doesn't stop murders, because the average Joe that's going to commit a murder, he's not going to go in there 9 times out of 10. And I'm not saying everyone, because there are that flip. But a criminal does not go purchase a gun from the gun store and fill out the paperwork and do the background searches on you. They don't go through that. They go to the street corner. They go to their buddy. That's how they get these guns. Guns aren't killing people. It's the people killing people, and defunding the police. That's killing people. Wake up, America. Please wake up before it's too late. Our children right now, think of what kind of world they're going to live in 30 years. I'm so scared for them. And their children, our grandchildren, God help them all. I pray every night, that this world changes. And people need to find God again. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm a sinner. I am a sinner every day, and I ask for forgiveness every day. But we need to get back to God. And I haven't always been close. The last 2 years, God and myself have gotten really close. And He's never let me down. And I'm not pushing my religion on anyone. Any religion, if you are religious, speak about it, talk about it, tell people about it. Because in the end, whether Buddha, Jesus, whatever you believe in, it's the same God if you really read all of it. and I have read a lot. It's the same God, same stories, just different regions. We're all brothers and sisters, every one of us. We need to start treating each other like brothers and sisters again. Love our fellow man. Don't judge somebody by their skin color. Don't judge somebody by their sexuality. We need to stop judging. That's not our place in life. It never has been. If somebody wants to be transgender, allow them. But leave our children alone about it. 12 and 13-year-olds, they don't know whether they want macaroni and cheese or pizza for dinner half the time. How in the hell do they know whether they want to be transgender, gay, or straight? What they should be focused on is being children, being kids, playing, having a good time, enjoying life. People, I hope you watch, and I hope people listen to this. And it's going to get better. Like I said, I'm new at this. But I'll get better at it, and I'll be a little bit more organized with my thoughts. I'm just trying to get a few off my head right now. But the things that we need to remember: Congress works for us. Law enforcement works for us. All that money the government receives is mine and yours. We should decide where that money goes. We should decide how it's spent. People, wake up. Stop the illegal immigration. If they want to be here, legally come here. If you don't come here legally, pay the consequences, just as you and I would do if we broke the law as U.S. citizens. You pay the consequence for breaking a law. I hope this video helps somebody. Maybe y'all will listen, maybe you won't. There'll be more. As for me, God bless everyone. I love everyone, and I pray for everyone. I hope this video finds you well, and I hope you prosper in life. Thank you for listening, and I will have more videos soon. And like I said, I'll be a little bit more organized. Thank you for listening.